Hello and welcome to another Adobe Photoshop CS3 lesson I call Remove Background. We're going to show you how to duplicate your main layer for safety. We're going to show you how to remove the background with a mask, how to place a picture from the internet as a background, to use blend modes between the layers, and then to add some brushes at the end. So to start with, I've already saved two pictures from the internet, one of the sun and one of Steve Nash, who played for the Phoenix Suns, although he's just been traded to the Lakers. I just became a Lakers fan. So I'm just going to go File, Open, and I saved it in my Remove Background in a different place than you will, but I would save it in your Photoshop folder. So I'm going to open up Steve Nash. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate that layer. So I move over on the right here, and I drag it onto the Create New Layer button, and it gives me a duplicate. Then I can turn off the bottom background layer. If I ever accidentally mess this up, then I can just fix that by throwing it in the garbage and then reusing this one or duplicating it again. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a mask on the top layer. So you know that you're first on the layer because it is in blue here, and I clicked on this button to give me a mask. Then I'm going to take a paintbrush and we're going to review this is the switcher, the double arrow, and right now it's got white and black, and when we're using a mask, white reveals, black conceals. So I'm going to get black on the foreground. I'm going to go to a regular brush, except I'm going to move it nice and big, and I'm going to keep the hardness at 100% to start with, and I'm just going to draw around Steve Nash, and this will take a little while. There are other ways to do this, but you know, this is a beginner lesson, so I'm just doing this now. I realize some of you might want to use the quick selection tool to select Steve Nash and then put on a mask, but that's a different way to do it. This is just a beginner lesson. So this will just take me a little while here. So now I'm going to get closer, so I'm going to get a little bit smaller, and I'm going to do this stuff in here. And just a quick reminder, if you make a mistake, accidentally you do that, you go to the switcher, because white will reveal, and back to the black, and I'm going to continue working on this. This is a bit tedious, but it works. And just looking over on the right at the mask, you can see where black is concealing the changes. Now, some of you might be doing this and it's not working. And that may be because over here, if your background is showing, the black would be showing from the background, so it seems like you're doing nothing. So just make sure you got only one of them showing. Now, I'm still going to go a little smaller again, but this time I'm going to start turning my hardness down. And I'll probably start zooming in. So I'm going to use keyboard shortcut for that, and I'm just going to go Control plus. And then I can zoom in. And when you want to zoom out, all you got to do is go Control minus. And remember, if you make a mistake, no big deal. You can just switch it to white and draw it back in. I'll probably just skip ahead at this point. Alright, you probably noticed I just finished. I skipped a big part of the video so you didn't have to sit and watch me just keep working away at this. It is a bit of a tedious job, but in the end you see it works quite well. So there you have it. I'm just going to zoom out a little bit, and Steve Nash is looking pretty good there. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the bottom layer, And I've already got the picture of the sun saved, and it's saved in my remove background layer, and for you it should be saved in your Photoshop folder. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go File and Place. You don't want to go File Open because that'll open a new and separate one. You want to place it so it places it as a separate layer on the same document. So File, Place. And I'm just going to grab the sun. And there you have a nice sun. Now, it's not quite big enough, so I'm going to hold the Shift key when I resize it. We want to make sure that it gets his feet as well as that. Now, you won't be able to do anything after this until you hit Enter, because you'll notice the bounding box, which gives you the anchors where you can turn it, spin it, do whatever you want. But this is really important that you hit Enter, because that gets you out of free transform. If you ever want to change it after, all you have to do is go Control T. So I'll have to enter again. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to crop it. So I'm going to take the crop tool and I'm going to start at the edge of the sun and then drag over the part you want to keep, and then you hit Enter. And there's a pretty good looking picture. Now I'm going to click on the top and I'm going to show you something called blend modes. These are the blend modes. Right now it's on normal. So you just start and put it on luminosity, and you see it gives you a certain look. And I'm going to take the roller on my mouse and I'm just going to roll through until I find one that I like. That looked pretty cool right there at soft light, so I'll remember that. That's really good too. I like that one a little bit better. Overlay. It really depends on the look you want. That's darker color. That's kind of cool too. And that's linear burn. And that's dissolve. And we're back to normal. Now if you don't like that, what you can do is grab this layer and you put that on top, and then you take, now you notice you have two layers of Steve Nash, and I dragged it onto the Create New Layer button, and then you can take that and then you get an interaction between the two pictures of Steve Nash. Sometimes overlay just makes it look brighter. So that's just a little more intense. This one kind of darker color puts a little black line around it. It looks pretty cool. So I might just go with the darker color. And I could easily save two pictures of it by turning this one off and then going back to that one, and I like that one on overlay, so I could save a picture like that, and I could save a picture, so then I'd have two copies of it and it'd be nice and easy to do. So there you have how to remove a background, so this one, now we've got darker color on top of overlay, so that's a little bit interesting. I don't know if I like that as much, but now you have almost the finished product. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put a layer of brushes in. And so I might, for this one, I might go on top of the sun. Unfortunately, I'm working on a computer in a different place, so I don't have access to all the brushes that we have at school. So I'm going to show you how to do it at school, and there's way better brushes at school, but I didn't want to take the time to upload them. So you go to the brush, you hit the drop down arrow, and then you hit the right arrow here, and then you go load brushes. And at school I have a bunch of brushes that you can load and try. You can put them in front, you can put them behind, you can do whatever you want. But what I have to choose from is just some of the different brushes here. So I don't even know what most of these look like. So I'm just going to tell it to append it so it adds the brushes on the bottom. And maybe I'll go with a much bigger diameter. And then again, I could change the blend mode. Don't really like this at all, personally, but I just wanted to show you how to do brushes, and at school we have some really cool brushes. So there you have how to remove a background, how to play with the blend modes, how to place a background, and make something cool. Find a subject on the internet that you want to put in front of a cool background. Have fun with it.